You know, when you look at those massive steel structures, bridges, stadiums, skyscrapers, you see the huge beams and columns. But what's really holding it all together? Well, the unsung heroes are the high-strength bolts. And tightening them correctly isn't just a simple task. It's a critical science that ensures our safety. In this explainer, we're going to break down the official guide for preloaded bolting assemblies, focusing on the BS-EN 14399 standard.
First off, I want to point out that this technical guide we're walking through comes straight from the experts over at Andrews Fasteners Limited. This means the information is top-notch, coming from people who live and breathe this stuff. And that's exactly what you need when you're dealing with something this important.
All right, and just a quick but really important heads up. While this information is provided in good faith by the experts, you always have to be responsible for making sure it's the right info for your specific project. When it comes to structural integrity, safety and precision are absolutely everything. So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with understanding something called the K-class. It's the foundation for everything else. Then we'll cover the universal rules that apply no matter what. And after that, we'll dive deep into the three specific methods, K0, K1, and K2. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Let's wrap our heads around the K-class. The best way to think about it is as a classification system. It's what tells you exactly which tightening procedure you need to follow. Get this right, and you're on the right track from the very beginning. So what is it really? Well, simply put, the K-class is a label. It tells you how that specific bolt, nut, and washer assembly is designed to be tightened to get the perfect amount of preload. And that preload is the tension, the clamping force, that's so crucial. The K-class basically takes all the guesswork out of the equation. And this table here, it just lays it all out so clearly. You've got three options. If you see K0, you're using the direct tension indicator, or DTI method. For K1, you're using what's called the combined method, a mix of torque and turning. And finally, K2 is the pure torque method. Three classes, three very specific ways of getting the job done right. Now, this next point is super important. You can always downgrade a bolt assembly. So using a high-spec K2 bolt for a K1 job, no problem. But, and this is a big but, you can never upgrade. You can't just grab a K0 assembly and use it for a K2 method. Why not? Because K2 components are made to much tighter tolerances specifically for that torque method. Using the wrong one is a massive safety risk. And let's be crystal clear on this one, because it's the golden rule. If the manufacturer gives you specific torque figures with those bolts, you absolutely have to use them. It is not a suggestion, it's an obligation. Any deviation from that is asking for trouble. Okay, so before we jump into the nitty-gritty of K0, K1, and K2, there are some universal principles we need to cover. Think of these as the ground rules that apply to every single preloaded bolting job, no matter which K-class you're working with. Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. The surfaces around the holes have to be prepared correctly, the structure itself has to be brought together so there are no gaps, and, this is key, every single bolt in the connection has to be brought to a snug, tight condition before you even start the main preloading process. And always work in a systematic, repeatable pattern. So what in the world is snug tight? I love this definition because it's so practical and down to earth. It's the tightness you can get with a normal spanner and just one person's effort. No cheating with extension bars. Or, if you're using a power tool, it's that exact moment an impact wrench stops spinning freely and starts hammering. That's your baseline, your starting line for every method. All right, let's get into our first specific method, K0. This one uses something called direct tension indicators, or DTIs. What's so cool about this method is that it's not about torque values. Instead, you're getting direct physical feedback. It's all about tightening by feel and by sight. The KO process is all about being methodical. First, you take every bolt in the connection to that snug, tight position. You'll actually see these little bumps on the DTI washer start to flatten a bit. Once every bolt is at that stage, then you move on to final tensioning. This is where you keep tightening until you achieve what are called feeler gauge refusals, basically confirming the gap has closed to the right amount.
So, what does a refusal actually mean? It's simple, really. It's when a special feeler gauge of a specific thickness can't slide into the gap under the washer anymore. The gap is too small. And this table tells you exactly how many refusals you need. For instance, if your DTI washer has 6 of those little bumps, you need to tighten it until you get at least 4 spots where the gauge won't fit. It's a direct physical proof of the tension in the bolt.
Okay, moving on to K1.
This is the combined method, and the name says it all. It actually combines two different techniques. You start with a precise amount of torque, and then you follow it up with a very specific angle of rotation. It's a hybrid approach that gives you a fantastic level of accuracy.
The order you do this in is absolutely critical. You start, as always, with snug tight. Then, you grab a calibrated torque wrench and apply that first torque figure, T1, from the manufacturer. As soon as you hit that number, you stop and physically mark the position of the nut. The final step is to give it an additional, very specific rotation, the part turn. The big question is, how much do you actually turn it? Well, it's not a random number. This is where the engineering precision comes in. The angle you need depends on the grip length. That's the total thickness of all the stuff being clamped together compared to the bolt's diameter. As you can see, the thicker the material you're clamping, the more you have to turn the nut. That makes sense, right? A longer bolt has to stretch more to get to the same level of tension. And that leads us to our final method, K2. This is the pure torque method. On paper, it's the most straightforward of the three. It relies completely on a calibrated wrench and applying two very distinct torque values that the manufacturer gives you. With this one, precision is absolutely everything. The process here is really clean and methodical. You guessed it, start by getting the whole connection snug tight. Then you set your calibrated wrench to that first torque value, T1, and you tighten every single bolt in your pattern. After that, you set the wrench to the second, higher value, T2, and you go through the exact same pattern again. 2 passes, 2 precise values, job done. And this brings us right back around to the single most important message in this entire guide. It doesn't matter if you're using DTIs, the combined method, or the two-step torque method. These procedures are not suggestions. They are strict engineering specifications. Any deviation, any at all, from the manufacturer's installation figures risks catastrophic failure. Period. You have to follow the procedure. So, that was a pretty deep dive, right? But mastering these techniques takes practice and having the right resources on hand. For some really useful tools and even more info from the experts who wrote this guide, you should definitely visit the Andrews Fasteners short links page. So I'll leave you with this. Now that you know the methods, are you prepared to follow them with the absolute precision they demand?